Hello, this is Tam the Tam BOTC channel. And we're going to play on the Xbox One. Well, why not? Anyways, I want to talk more about the Xbox One versus the 360. So this is the next part to it. So we left off with a bunch of stuff. So the one thing that really sets the Xbox 360 apart from the Xbox One being a loser in some cases, this is a stupid thing. Anyways, that it sets apart is the red ring of death. And I've heard people this is another reason that points towards people being jerks on the Xbox One. People will argue on the side of the Xbox One or the PS4 the exact same argument, like, oh, this game system melts my disc. This one does too. It's the same thing. You're not really proving that one's better, only to that one individual that you talk to. It's really stupid. And even though people probably won't really see these videos as something they really care about, I'm glad to put them up, and I'm not trying to say anything against people, and if so, I apologize if people do take offense, and a lot of people probably do. It's easy to offend people, very easy. Like, you could fart and someone would get offended. Oh, why did you do that? What? It was a fart. You offended my entire family for life. Your disgrace. All I did was fart. You're a nasty individual. Anyways, but it's really stupid with the Xbox One and the 360 battle, or the PS4 and the Xbox One battle. I'll get to that in another video. But, oh my goodness, I can't stand the One. There's stuff that I could compare to the PS4, even the PS3, that set the One back. Like, if I were to do a top favorite game systems list, I don't even, like, top 10, Xbox One's not going to be on that list, I'm going to tell you first off. And second off, so many older systems surpass the Xbox One just by being awesome. The Xbox One basically tries by looking better, and if that's all you care about, well, whoop-de-doo, that's not everything a game system or game should be. Because that's trash to think that's the only thing it needs to be. But with all that really dumb with all this really dumb stuff that the Microsoft company does, and not only that, they push over a lot of my stuff and copyright claims and stuff, and I know other game companies do that too, like Nintendo, but honestly, I like Nintendo better. Like, who doesn't like Nintendo or grow up with Nintendo? You grew up with Mario, for crying out loud. What does stinging Microsoft have? We have Master Chief. Who cares? He's a guy in green armor. But besides that, there's also stop doing that, dink. Ugh! There's also the fact that these game systems, I don't know. I'm just losing track of what I'm saying. I'm just so mad at this game system right now, and I'm mad at just everything being said. And I'm sorry if my anger gets in the way, it's just really stupid. They shouldn't have that kind of garbage. If you have something to defend the Xbox One, which there are things to defend the Xbox One, I'm not saying that there aren't. The Xbox One does have some redeeming games. It does have redeeming qualities. I love that you can record stuff. I use it for YouTube and TV capabilities, even though I'd rather watch YouTube than anything on TV. But there's just so many problems with it that overweigh the benefit of, like, anything good that actually contributes to the system in a positive way. So bad. Get out here, you dink. But, you know what, I'm gonna run past you guys. But, with a lot of this stuff, it makes you wish that there would be more to these game systems with how they're... Hey! I don't really care. Yeah, I have quite a lot of souls, though. Let's fight these guys. Maybe I'll sacrifice, I'm not sure. But it's really stupid how a lot of people try to defend the Xbox One with a lot of the stupid things, especially the Halo 5 thing. Like, one of the things I have hope for, and I've been playing the beta, you saw the beta on my page when I switched into this, is that the Gears of War is one of my favorites, but it's only one exclusive that I have hopes for. Dink. But it's only one exclusive that I have hope for. To really hit this button because it's barely working. But, which makes this a bad playthrough. I'm not trying to do much though, but I'm probably saying a lot of the same stuff. I'm just really mixing up my words, so I'm sorry so much if I'm not being as talkative with that kind of stuff, or different, formal. But Microsoft just pushes over so much, and all they care about is money, which tons of systems do, but Microsoft shows it the most. And I lost all those souls. That doesn't matter. I know where we're farming anyways. And I've already completed everything in this game. But, if graphics is your only thing, and a lot of RPGs, even Destiny sucks on all systems. I don't really like Destiny all that much. But there are so many games that I just don't care for that are on this, coming out for this system as well. And yeah, I have a lot of games for this game system. Let me show you. All these different kind of games. I got 360 games, Xbox One games, and the reason I go into playing it more is because I have more friends on the Xbox systems. And I'm not really new, because I've been playing it for a long time, but I'm new to, like, playing with people online on the PlayStation systems, like PlayStation 3 and 4. But, I've been playing a lot of the PS4 lately. I barely touched the Xbox One. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I can actually go back to the system and get into it much. But, I even have friends who are saying, forget the Xbox One, it's becoming trash. And there's just so many bad things. You've got Sunset Overdrive's fine, but who cares? And a lot of, why is that even here? I got that for a friend, but I don't think he comes on anymore. But, with a lot of the games, they remaster older games, and then they put older games on here. And then they're just not worth it. See, I installed The Division. Games like Thief, Star Wars Battlefront, Rainbow Six Siege, Evolve barely can even be called games. I even uninstalled Quantum Break. I was sick of that game. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. There were better exclusives on the PS4 as well. I care more for the games on the 360, as well as the people I play with. I still have friends on the 360 alone, and not on the Xbox One. There are people who didn't bother to get an Xbox One that don't really care for it, as well as a lot of the stuff at their press conference. I want to get to this real quick. At their press conference, they said some really stupid stuff when they originally hyped this game system. Yeah, backwards compatibility is quite a win, but it's barely anything when it has so many problems, and the games on the system already have problems enough, and with the online functionality, and that you're trying to focus on that the most, instead of split screen, where PlayStation is having online. With split screen too. It's just, I just can't stand why people think that these game systems are better than others and that they would go through a console war. No game system is better than another. No. They all suck. It's just which one sucks more than the next. The Xbox One, and since I didn't really get much into the 360, but mostly the things that you have to say about the 360's positives and negatives, you have to use the Xbox One as an example. Because you could have just did that stuff on the 360 and it would have been just fine. You could have put a new graphics card, as I said, in, or anything, and upgraded the 360. Brought it to your nearest GameStop or whatever. And even though they had problems then with the 360, which I say the 360 isn't any better, but seriously, to say the 360, even the Xbox original is still better than the One. There are games that I absolutely love on the Xbox original to play. That even though the One has like remastered versions, I don't care. You didn't get the online functionality to actually really work all that well in the Master Chief Collection. And if Gears of War 4 somehow fails, I don't know how, but if it does, especially since I don't think Epic Games is really a big part of it anymore, there might be small divisions of people from Epic Games that will be working on it, but I don't know. If Gears of War 4 fails, and it's already basically sealed the Xbox fate, I'm done. Xbox One can die. But it wasn't even nominated Best Game System of the Year either. PS4 was, which even puts it more down the drain. There's just nothing redeeming about the system other than the small little details here and there. Because the games you could argue for are all that are really good are actually on other game systems. And you can and they put a lot of the games like Rise, Sons of Rome, and Dead Rising 3 on the PC. And not just a Microsoft branded PC. So it's really, it just comes back on a full circle, a loop on themselves. And I lose train of thought within a lot of this, but there's so much going through my head with this kind of thing. But like, there's not much use when they promoted the system at the E3 conferences, and they told you like to keep it on at all times. The Kinect, you couldn't buy it without the Kinect. It was still very pricey, even then compared to PS4. They gave you better options and devices, especially a charger, even though it wasn't all that great. But the fact that it's an option is great. For the PS4, there's so many things that just like within opening the two boxes you could compare are already better than what the Xbox One gives you. And it's just garbage, as well as a lot of the stuff now, and even then, for the 360, were cheaper than the Xbox One. And there would be more like gameplay value, as well as more games that would fit on the game system compared to the One. It was just absolute trash what the Xbox One has done, and I can't stand this garbage. So I hope you enjoyed this anger series, rant series or whatever, which is just 2 videos. But those are just some of the things I have to say. Microsoft is really messing with me too when it comes to recording a lot of my stuff and trying to play my games. So I'm also just generally mad at Microsoft. They tick me off. They're just make me so mad. But I'll see you guys on the next episode of whatever I do next. I've been doing a lot of Dark Souls stuff, so if you enjoy that kind of stuff, please come here. But I don't want to make my channel a Dark Souls dedicated channel. I want to go to other things. But yeah, keep in mind all the stuff, and there's still more. I just can't really think of much of it right now. But also at E3 they lied about a bunch of stuff, so that's one thing.